Yeah.
You just weren't allowed to broadcast it specifically 9:36 a.m.
Yeah. Standard IT error. Just click it again and see what happens. We're fine. Okay. I'll start playing this. I did fix the skull. I'll show you what happened with the skull. We'll make the skull cooler, and then we'll do some other things. No reference exception. Awesome. Oh, I know what I did. That's my fault. All right. So I got this guy. I can has gun. Yeah, we're gonna change that up. So we got the cowboy here, who's literally he doesn't care that I'm here. I don't care that he's here. He just T-posing his way over to where he's supposed to go. Where'd the guy? Oh, he was just here. Yeah, the skull is supposedly tracking me, but sometimes he's dumb. Since I've got physics on him, he'll like hit a wall or something and go bouncing. But I think if I change his mass, that'll be fine. The problem we had earlier with this guy, and you know you've added a bunch of stuff to your scene when just unplaying it takes a minute. It's like, hold on, let me unspool this. The problem with the skull here was by default, the asset that I drug in was static. Static means it doesn't move, so it didn't move. Even though the code told it to move, it wouldn't move. I do have a capsule collider on it and a rigid body. If I give it more mass, let's make this a really heavy skull, then maybe he won't bounce around as much. Or alternatively, to be more fun, I could put a very bouncy physics material on it and just have this skull like ping-ponging all over the place. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we're still firing those. We're gonna need to change that up. We talked to some focus groups, and apparently requiring people to be vaccinated was not popular. So we're gonna not shoot bottles anymore. Yeah, we're not gonna shoot bottles anymore. So I'll change that up. Anyway, so he doesn't move around as much since I gave him some mass. Yeah. Well, so his nav mesh movement isn't physics based. I can take the rigid body off of him; he'd move. Yeah, yeah. So he's translating around, and then since I've also given him physics, we get weird stuff. So yeah, he's sliding. Huh? It is. Yes. Yeah. Let's check the skull out because I did do some stuff to him. So let's just zoom in on that guy. He's here. I don't know if how well you can see it. There's his nav mesh, right? So when I added NavMeshAgent, you can change this base offset. And so I could have him like halfway into the ground if I took the rigid body off. And I'll just turn that stuff off, and we're just going to pull the rigid body just off of it. Okay, capsule collider's off. And so since I moved the offset, then we should just see his nose and his eyes peeking out of the ground. So that's a good way to get little floaty drones and things to fly around, but still retain your on the floor nav mesh. Yeah, I might have accidentally jumped too high. So yeah, see, I changed his offset, and now he might be creepier that way actually. Yeah. Also, the fact that he like just keeps looking at you, it's great. We're gonna play with another nav mesh agent. We're gonna make another one from scratch, and by scratch I mean we're gonna copy some of the other stuff we've done too. But we're gonna make something smarter. Let's move that. So he's floating again, and so yeah, the bottom of that little capsule. It isn't a collider. This is basically like the thing that's floating on the ground of the nav mesh that we made. So he'll be fine. I'm going to go ahead and change up my vaccine game here. I'm not handing out health potions. Let me go find. What? Oh, I'm just joking. I'm just tired of shooting bottles. Yeah. That was me being silly. I didn't like the bottles flying around. It was me, not a focus group for the release of our game. We could just shoot liquid fire. Yeah, we could do that. Okay, let me find that guy. So I've got this. This is a free one that I use quite a bit. It's a ball pack. So we've got all these sphere type objects, which are nice. I use the bottle to show that like the forward of whatever the object is the vector we're going to fire on. Huh? Shoot atoms? Yeah, that makes sense. That's what's going to come out of my shotgun for sure. All right, so here we go. We'll just give it a rigid body. We'll give it a good capsule collider. I've created a tag already called bullet. I'll just give it that. Absolutely want to make sure it's not check static. And yeah, that's good. So I'm going to just rename this to Atom Bullet. And that's probably too large for my shotgun. Lock this. We'll go like half size and see what happens there. All right. We'll make a prefab out of this. And then all I've got to do on my player shotgun is just change out the prefab to the now Atom Bullet. And then I also accidentally left one here in the scene. So I've got an atom that's just rolling around. That's not my bullet. The tag says bullet. So actually, yeah, when we start using those tags, then this rolling atom could be dangerous. All right, let's see. Ooh, we're shooting. Yeah, I didn't turn the gravity off yet on the rigid body, so it's kind of fun. Oh yeah, I took the rigid bodies and stuff off. So I had physics and rigid body on my guys because that way I knew when I hit him. Yeah. Look at him. Oh, he's in a tailspin. All right. Okay, so I've downloaded a few other things that we're going to play with. So we've got the two agents we already did, and those scripts are already online for you. So we've got the guy who just goes to point B. He's not that smart. We called him Dumb Cowboy. I've got a smarter guy, which is actually, we probably should have called this script a targeting agent, because literally he's just going after a target. It's the same as the guy just going to point B, except we're the target. And as we move around, the skull's like going to track us. So he's a tracker. So I downloaded another free bunch of assets. I found this robot soldier. He comes in different colors. Let's see what we got. We got white, red, green, some camos, blues, blacks. Let's see what the red guy looks like. So he's got he's in the right light. Yeah. So he's called Robot Soldier. He's got a gun. I want to make a NavMeshAgent that's going to be smarter than just relentlessly track. So what I'm going to try to do is we're going to get this guy. He's going to be like the skull is. He's going to track us. He'll follow us around the map. I want to make him even shoot at us. But I also want to give him health. And so when I get him below a certain threshold of health, 50%, 30%, whatever, then I want him to turn around and run away from me toward a health pack. So we can go health up. right? So we're gonna make it a little more challenging. So we're gonna he's a little bit smarter. He's still a relentless Terminator, bent on our destruction, but he also knows that he needs to survive too. Yeah. Okay. So I'll use the red guy. This is the prefab. So I'm just gonna drag. Is it the red one? Yeah, we use red. So I'll drag him in here, and I lost him. So I'll drag him into the actual scene instead of just into the hierarchy because I don't know where that landed him at. So we got this guy. He came with an animation, but it's not set up by default. So I'm going to set that up really quick just so we can see how cool he looks. And this is very, very early animation stuff. We're going to get into a lot more animation later in the semester. But for now, I know that this guy exists. So I've got a robot soldier. I've got this animation here. I already made one. And so here's an animation that came with him. He just runs. It's the only animation on him. So he can either T-pose like this, or we can use this run animation. So I'm going to go ahead and create for this guy an animator controller. Call it whatever. I called it a new robot runner. And if I double click and open this, I've got nothing. Right? I've got entry points, I've got starts, I've got exits, but nothing in there. So I'm just going to drag this animation in. There's this run animation, and it says on entry. This is almost the same as like start or init in code. When the guy starts, we'll just run this animation. He will run all the time. He's a robot. He's not going to get tired. We're fine. So I've got this created. So I'm going to drag it onto, he needs a controller on this guy that's already got an animator. So I'm just going to drag that over. And so he's going to run at us. And so we'll play the game. Just see what that animation looks like. And he's going to run in place because we didn't give him anything else. And I'm taking advantage of the fact that my jump has a glitch, and I'm just using it to. So this is him. This is the animation that he came with. Otherwise, he'd be T-posing. So this is the guy we want to be smart. You know what? This skull's bothering me. Here, actually, let's do this. I'm gonna change the skull up. So I'm gonna show you some other bits of the NavMeshAgents. So we've got agent type, and we've got other things we can do. Humanoid's default. We could make it act more like a car or do a bunch of other stuff. We've got the offset. We can change the speed. I think that skull's even scarier at higher speeds. But this is what I'm going to change right now. So right now the guy just glitches right into me. The skull's like going to eat my kneecaps every time. But I'm gonna give him a stopping distance. So he'll come up like, if that's set in meters or units, we'll stop within this distance of the target position. So I'm going to say, hey, just hold back. So he should just come up right and stare at me now. Nope, he didn't. Yeah, he's having a hard time. It's because I gave him so much speed, I think. If I pull his speed back down, make him just a slow, creepy skull instead of a fast, terrifying skull. What was acceleration? The acceleration probably works for deceleration too, right? I'm going to pull that down. And there's these other things. We'll try that. And so playing with things like this is basically what I did instead of homework last night. Where's the skull at? Oh, there he is. Yep. And he's just going to come up and say, You got any grapes? One thing I've done to that skull in the past is I've added a flame particle to him that like trails. Yeah, it's very, very Ghost Rider, fun stuff. All right, so anyway, we got a robot soldier. We want him to be cool. He already animates. I'm going to go ahead and give him the NavMeshAgent, same as the others. We'll play with these values later, and he needs a new script. So tracking smarter agent. Hopefully that's not what I called it when I was testing. Sweet. Mason, you alive, my dude? Sort of. Stop taking 300 classes at once. All right, so I got the smarter agent. I'm going to pull this junk out, and I'm going to literally steal from myself. So I'm going to go open up the other script. Which was what? Just smarter? Smarter skull. That's what we called him. That disappeared because I moved it. All right, so I got my skull. I'm just going to start pulling over. Definitely, this is all about being a NavMeshAgent, so I'll pull that in. Require component, and that automatically used the AI. And for now, let's pull all that in. Then we'll clean it up. So agent tracker smarter. We'll still have a target. So still on start, we're getting the NavMeshAgent on update. We'll do something smart. Right now, what that means is it's constantly going to make a targeting vector off of our location and come at us. So he'll be the exact same as the skull. What do I need next? I probably need health. Right? So that's what we're going to base our smartness on. When we drop below a certain kind of health, we're going to run away. So public int, we'll call it enemy health or just health. We might have a player health later. And we'll start it at 100 because why not? And if the enemy health is greater than, at what point should it try to run away and go get meds? But we don't know yet. We haven't set that. Let's just say that it's got 100 health, and each shot it's going to knock off 10%. 30? Okay. So as long as his health is above 30, he's still mad at us. And he's going to come get us. So it's up here. Man, for the life of me, I couldn't spell else on the first try ever. I don't know what the deal is. Otherwise, if the enemy health is, above 0, He's not dead yet. He's going to go get health. Sofa. Okay, and we'll probably use something just like the other thing. We'll just give it a different target. So he'll just go somewhere else. And then else, all right, so below 30, below 0. Otherwise, we're dead, right? So we'll just destroy ourselves. And game object is shorthand for us. Okay, so I need a different target. So as long as I'm doing this, I'm fine. So I'm just going to go ahead and do another public or serialized field, whichever. Public, transform. We'll call it a health. That's a capitalizing. Health station. Medical tent, whatever you want to call it. So we got another transform. This. Except we want to go to the health station. So yeah, we're not dead yet, but we're lower than 30. Then we're going to go find health. Cool? Otherwise, we're dead. That's that. The other thing I need to do is detect bullets. So I'm going to use something different. So I've got physics on my bullets. I'm going to have physics on this guy so that I can knock him around a little bit with my bullets. So we're going to use two colliders that aren't triggers. So instead of on trigger enter, we're going to do an on collision. And that works almost the same way. Except in any kind of collision or trigger, somebody's got to have a rigid body. They should both have rigid bodies, so we should be fine. Same kind of thing. So if other dot game object dot tag equals bullet, then we'll do some things. Why are you doing this? All right. And enemy health, yeah. Then enemy health equals enemy health minus 10. Yeah. So bullet collided with us. Huh? Oh, that should have been minus. There we go. Yeah, whatever it was, minus 10. That was a fat finger problem on my part. Now I'm going to set up the other thing that I know I'm going to use. Well, let's just make sure that this works. Then we'll come back. Do I have everything? I think I do. Okay. All right. Now I need a place for him to run to. So he'll come at me. We'll get him firing guns in a minute. But then I need just somewhere to run and hide. So I think up in this corner, I've already grabbed a tent. There we go. That's where the enemy is going to go get health at. I'm going to add to this. Well, we'll set it up in a minute. I'm going to add a box collider that is a trigger. And it's down here in the ground for whatever reason. So I'm just going to crank that up. Yeah, then he has to kind of at least make it inside. Okay, so got that, which we'll set up in a minute. So this will be our enemy health station. I just need to finish setting this guy up. So we've got our nav mesh agent. We're going to leave him at the regular speed for now. He needs to know where the health station's at, and I'll just drag him this. And then we'll tell him where we are so he can track us. And then I think as long as I tagged my bullets, we should be fine. So I tend to want to think ahead and like try to make a whole bunch of stuff work at once. The problem is if you do a whole bunch of stuff without testing and then something doesn't work, then you don't know which thing you just did that broke it all. So keep it simple. Do a couple things, one thing at once. Okay, now just start shooting at him. Did I give him colliders? I didn't give him a collider. So the collider script is not going to get called. Yeah, look at that. Let's do that. So I will give him just a box collider at his feet. Let me pull that up. Seems fair. Make it a little wider. Give him a collider, and I'll go ahead and give him a rigid body as well. But I don't want to. I mean, he's a big robot, right? So I don't want to blast him across the map. So I'm just going to go ahead and crank his mass up to like 10. And now he should register a collision. Small changes and then test. But you're going to mess something up. And it's just easier to know what you messed up. All right, we'll come up here. Here he comes. He looks like he's still tracking me. And I didn't give him a chance to go looking for the other thing. All right, let's do this. I want that retreat to be obvious. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my script. And if he's coming at us, do a slow and steady advance. And so I've got access to all of his stats here. So I can just say his speed right now is, we'll do 2. Does it want to float? Yeah, it does, doesn't it? All right. So if he's coming at us, and eventually he's going to be firing his gun, he's just going to kind of slowly advancing toward us. Otherwise, we're in full retreat. And I'll give him a speed of 9. When this guy runs away, he runs away. We could do other stuff. We could change color like we did with the barrels and stuff. But we'll see if that does it for us. I need more sound effects than that one. Slow guy. I could lock his rotation on his rigid body. That would help. Still coming at us. Oh, there he is. He said, "Forget you. I'm going for health." Joke's on you, buddy. There's no actual health there. We just told you to go there and didn't do anything with it. No, I can still just keep shooting him until he's gone. There we go. All right. So we make that health work. I'm going to, we need a tag for this. So I'm just going to go ahead and, I've already got one called Enemy Health Station, which is a whole lot to type out when I'm comparing tags later, but we'll use it. So I've tagged that. It's got a box collider, is trigger. So I'm going to go back to my script. I should save my scene. Jack, you trying to stay awake? Or you asking a question? Okay, just stretching. Fair enough. All right. So in this case, I'm going to do on trigger because I want to be able to go into the tent. Just do on trigger enter. Same kind of jazz. If other game object dot tag or dot compare tag. Either one works. Enemy health station. So if he gets in there, we'll just reset his health to 100. Yeah? Which should be fine. And then his health is back. And then we'll get caught here and he'll come back at us again at a slower speed. Still didn't lock his rotation. He's having a hard time turning himself back around to come at us. Maybe that's to our advantage. There he goes. Okay. He's running away. He's going to go get some health. He's healthed up. He's coming back at us. Cool. So fairly simple. Code-wise. Kind of just using some if statements. We've almost created a state machine. We could use some enums and do an actual state machine. We won't get into that yet. We'll just use this. So he needs to fire at us. We can set that up here in a sec. But all that works. We could even just call him the boss and track his health on the screen. Let's do that. So on my canvas, I can just go ahead and add. I'm just going to copy and paste. So I'm just going to Control D, duplicate this text. This one will be boss health. Holding down Alt, and I'll move that down to that corner. Wow, okay. We can change that up and make it red. So get the boss health. I think I didn't undo what I did testing, so I think it's already still there in my assistant manager code. I just need to hook it up. Yeah. So I've already got that set up. So it's already got an enemy health text. I'm just going to give it that component. We'll look at what that script looks like. And so all I did from the shots fired is I added another int for the enemy health. I got another text field set up here, and I'm updating that every frame. So whatever the enemy health is, we're displaying. We'll call it boss health. He's going to be our boss. And so just back here in this guy, in, we'll steal from ourselves. We need access to the manager. So we'll drag that over from fire bullets. And we need the manager to find itself. So we'll copy that too. And we're calling this from update, but we can do it here anyway. So we're just going to say, hey, manager dot enemy health equals our local enemy health. So it's got a thing called enemy health. We're setting it equal to what our actual health is, and it should handle it. That should be all we need. Boss health is at 100. So now we got a little tracker. We can put our player health up there. We can do a lot of stuff later. With that, I'm giving you most of the pieces you need. We need to get that guy firing. Go, he's down to 90. I love it. I love giving him super speed when he's running away. He's at 30. He's going to make it to the tent. Boom, he's back at 100 health. And we can make that increase a little bit over time as he's at the tent. But whatever. Ha, got him. All right. That still went faster than I thought it was going to. All right, let's check our rubric and see what else we're missing this week. We got our 2 levels. We can go from 1 to 2. We want at least 2 weapon pickups, and I want you to switch between them. And I do have some examples of how to do that here. So in this script, I've created an enum, which is it's like a state or like a multi-part Boolean. One of these things is true, and we're going to toggle between them. And so for this, I've either got no weapons or I've got a pistol, a rifle, or a shotgun. I've got them all hooked up here so that I can drag them in the inspector. And then this public weapon is this. And so that actually gives me a drop down with these values in the inspector. And so then we got Booleans for have we unlocked any of these things, because I don't know what you've gone around and picked up. And then the rest of this is all based on the tab key. So if I hit tab, then I'm going to switch on weapons, and then these are the cases. So I don't have a weapon, but I do have pistol unlocked. Then it'll switch me to the pistol. And that's all here. The code's not pretty, but it works. I just like switch cases and enums. Yes, sir.
Does this go on the weapons that are on the players or the player?
The player, yeah. So this is going to swap out what's in the player's hand. So we're assuming that you have all 3 of these named objects on the player's person, and we're unhiding them the same way we did with just the single shotgun. So we need to have that going, and I gave you some scripts, and there is tutoring, and I would like to go over everything, but yeah, there's just a whole lot that we're trying to do this week. So at least 2 weapons that fire unique bullets, and then weapon switching. So I've given you the script for that. We've got a dumb agent, just goes to point B. That's our cowboy, whatever you want it to be. We've got our targeting agent. That's the skull that just comes at us nonstop. Smarter agent, and I've got examples up top of what you could do, but I like this one that we just did, where he's going to go like a try and health up when we get him down. So that's the smart agent, and then win condition, lose condition, audio, show at least 2 pieces of data, which we did. Right. So right now we've got how many shots we fired and the boss's health. You can definitely add to that. Players can hurt NavMesh agents with bullets. We set up the health for the boss so we can kill him. And now we've just got to do that inversely. So we need at least one of our NavMesh agents to shoot at us, and then we need health. So kind of the same thing we've already done, just inverse. We'll make the bad guy shoot. We'll give us health. We'll reset. What's up? Okay. Yeah, and so I do want to point out. Let's talk about that for a second. I am, for the most part, in this class, I'm assuming you got a D or higher in the. I'm showing some dumb code. It's not pretty. It's just kind of the fastest thing that I can come up with to achieve the desired goal. Some of you who are CS majors or just more into the code, you're going to look at it and go, why did you do it that way? Because it was fast. That's why I did it that way. We could spend an entire semester in a class just optimizing the code that we've written so far. There's 100 ways to do anything. I usually go for the dumb fast class, for the dumb fast method. So we'll just get through it. All right. What else do we need? Well, we've got some time. Let's go ahead and make that robot shoot at us. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna make a prefab out of him. So he's gonna make him a red robot boss. So I'll give him a new name. I'll drag him into my prefabs. So at least what we've got set up is there. All right, we've got a red robot boss. And he's got a rifle already. Check that out. Now here's something when I was testing with this, I don't know what happened. I gave him a firing gun the same way we did with our shotgun. And I assumed that if I made the muzzle point a child of the rifle, that when the rifle moved, the muzzle point would move with it. I don't know why it didn't. And so I had my guy coming at me animated like this, and the bullets were all like just shooting down onto the ground from the side because that's where he was in T-pose position. Huh? I was hoping it was. Sometimes it will. So if you look, like we've got, probably that's what I should have done. I should have made it a child of all this. Yeah. Yeah. If I made it a child of the, what is that? His right shoulder, right arm, right hand. Yeah. So he's got all this. So his hands move when he animates. So if I make the child of that as my point, what? Well, so that, I mean, right here, it's not even here. Right hand thumb. Look at all. I mean, we've got somebody overdid it with their bone structure. Yeah. But that's the animating skeleton that we don't see, and these are the components, including the rifle. Yeah. Oh, there it is. Root bone, right hand, right there. So I'll try and make it the muzzle point a child of the right hand, and maybe it'll work. So I'm just going to go ahead and give this guy a new empty. Call it muzzle point again. I'm going to try and set it up. So let me see. We're on local. I need to come this way by 90. So it's forward. then maybe move it out some. We're going to try and guesstimate that the gun follows the hand, and this is going to follow that. So right about there-ish. We're still guessing. It's still better than it like firing off to the side. Like it literally looked like he had bullets falling out of his pants. It was just not a good move. And then again, that blue Z forward is where we're going to be at. So in relation to the hand, which is here, then yeah, so we've got a point. All right, so I'm going to actually put the script though on the rifle because it makes sense to me. New script, boss, enemy, fire. Compiling scripts. There we go. All right. And basically, we're going to copy almost all of this. All right. We've got a boss. We've got the way we fire. I'm just going to pull these over. So I'm going to pull in the bullet prefab, force, lifespan, all that. I'm not going to tell the game manager about all the bullets the bad guy's firing. We can leave these the same. Don't need that. Pull in this whole thing here. Need the manager. All right, so the enemy will create a bullet, access its rigid body, move it forward, and then it'll die, just like before. This is going to be a terrible idea. We're going to do it. Fire. Again, because we want it to be fast, we want to make sure this works. Right now, it's going to fire a bullet for every frame. When I said boss, I wasn't kidding. And we haven't even set up our health yet, but if we put physics on the bullet, it'll at least knock us back. That'll be fun. So we got that set up. So the boss should be able to fire, maybe even from the right spot. This is going to be the worst thing we've ever done. Yeah, we'll do something with that. So there he needs the muzzle point. So there it is. Prefab. We'll have him shoot atoms too. Why not? We'll use the same bullets together, just because we know it works. We can try the barrel. We'll do the barrel. We'll shoot barrels at us. Same force, same lifespan. Wait a minute. I think our force needed to be a lot higher, didn't it? Yeah, we cranked our bullet force up to 2,000. So this guy on those physics is going to be like not even lobbing bullets. He's just going to be leaving them in space. And that'll work. Let's see. Let's just drop that down to 2 seconds since we're going to be making one per frame. Okay, so I got my red robot boss. He's coming at me. He can health up. I'll add myself some health later. And on his gun, him has auto fire set to die, everyone die. Yeah. Go big or go home, right? All right, so we've applied all that. Now he's a prefab. Now I could have 100 of these guys coming at me and just drop my frame rate like a madman. Let's see if that muzzle point trick worked by attaching it to the hand and not the gun. Oh, something's already coming at me. What the? Hello? When you're firing something at that force, oh, good Lord. Yes, it's blasting me back. I love it. He said, have some barrels. Oh, can't get close to him. Huh? It's not, but it's following the gun. Yeah, so it's following the animation, which maybe will make it easy for us to not die if he's shooting that way. That just looks like bullets exist on the end of his rifle. He's firing too fast. Yeah, he's a stormtrooper. Oh, we should have him stop firing when he's going back to. This is hilarious. He's going back for health. All right, he's back on it. He feels better. I'm feeling much better now. Oof. Yo. I can't even get close. Honestly, yeah, we should just like get some water or something to use as bullets, and it'll look like he's just trying to crowd control. Okay, so besides the fact that we need health, the same way that he had health, we need to control that guy's rate of fire, and maybe even, yeah, we need to control his rate of fire, and then maybe even not have him shoot when he's running for the hospital. So, what do you suggest, Matthew? While I drink this coffee, are we going to control his rate of fire? We don't have to call it from update. We can just call something once from start and just have it recursively, like, yeah, call that from start. Yeah. Just give him a loop that's not based on the frame rate. Although that was pretty impressive. I mean, I got to admit, like, dude was coming at us. Yeah, honestly, I think the fan might have like kicked up a little bit. Uh,
Like, oh, what per frame? This is gonna be great.
yeah, I should throw something like a whole building model in there as a bullet and just see what happens. The video just ends because yes, the high poly Pop Tart. That's the one. That's what we got to do. Yeah, we just shoot Pop Tarts everywhere. We can go back to using the toaster. Um, no, I don't want to cool. That's what I want. Yeah, I like it. Sort of works. I don't need all of it. Okay, let's slow this guy down. This, that. Don't care about that. What was our actual thing? Fire this bullet. Fire this bullet. And we need that Boolean and that fire rate. So what do I need to pull in for that to register? Huh. I'll pull these in. So I've got a float. That's my fire rate, which right now is 1. So 1 per second, maybe. And then our Boolean for allowing fire. And then on start, I'll just say start coroutine, and what do we call it? Shoot. There it is. Why is it still not like that? Oh, that's because I deleted this. Yeah, collections is what I need for enumerating. And this one, I'll bet it wants to pass that as a string. No. Oh, because I didn't give it the, this. Here we go. Boom. All right. So we need the system collections for enumerate to work. On start, I'm calling this coroutine, shoot. Just calling it once, and it's going to call itself? No. Could get this to call itself. I call it from update. Let's do that from update. Because we don't want to call this anyway. All right, so I'll call from update, but it still should block itself. So it'll start the coroutine, it'll come down here, and it'll say, you're not allowed to fire, but go ahead and do it this once. No, it's not going to work because I'm calling it from update every time. Let's just see what happens. What do you think, Matthew? Are you helping me at all? What do I pay you for? I'll change this to like 2, just so it's very obvious. Called it from update. Once. From update. Should be bad. Yeah, as I recall, that's not the best thing to do, but here we go. Something's firing. Yeah, he's still on turbo. This is from update, yeah. What if I can just call myself? It's definitely a bad idea. Oh, that's what I'll do. Yeah. It tried to help and then it didn't. All right. So that'll work. So now that's where we're using the Boolean properly. So if we're allowed to fire, then we'll start the coroutine shoot. And it'll say, yeah, we're going to shoot. First, we'll change this to false. We'll fire the bullet. And then here we're waiting for however many long seconds we told it. And then we're changing it back to true for allow fire. So within itself, it's turning itself back on and off again. And cross our fingers, say our prayers. Not that I'm 100% against him firing 1 bullet per frame. I kind of like that, but it doesn't seem fair. Yeah. Yeah, that's better. And since he's a stormtrooper aim, we're basically safe.
That's
His gun is slightly at an angle.
Yeah.
Directly towards you, so he never hits you actually.
Yeah, unless you like get into his line of fire.
It's,
Yep.
You gotta be trying so hard.
There, he got us. Like, please just get me. So we can fix that, or again, I like it.
Starts shooting super fast whenever he goes to go back to help. So he still starts running and he's spinning in circles to shoot like bullets.
Yeah. So all we got to do is expose one to the other, right? Let's look. So I've got. We can just change this. The float for fire rate is already fully exposed. So we get boss enemy fire. Gotta find it, but I can just drag it in there. Yeah. Let's do that. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do a public or serialized field in this case. I want to get the boss enemy fire script. And we'll just call it boss fire locally. Boss dire, that works too. So we'll need to hook that up in the inspector. And then once I have boss fire, then I can do cool stuff here. So it's gonna go boss fire dot, and what was it? Fire rate? Fire rate. I can set it here to 1. So he's gonna fire fast, faster than we had it if he's coming at us. And then we can go one way or the other here, right? So we can say if he's going for health, then he can only fire every 100 seconds. He's not even firing, basically. Crank that way up. Or pull it down even. To Micah's suggestion.
Then once he starts going for it, and it starts the thing and it sets the timer, it'll still have the timer going even once you know where you're going.
Yeah, it should. Yeah. So yes, we don't want to set it to like something he'll never get to, or like make it look like he's not shooting at us for a while. Or right now, he's going off the rails crazy while he's running for the health pack. So I don't know if anybody played some paintball. Yeah, man, I bruise up like crazy. Sometimes when you're doing a mad dash across the field, you just like holding down the trigger, like somebody's gonna get it. I'm out of here. So maybe that's what we'll do. So he's got his fire rate way up while he's running for the health station, and then we'll track it back down. We'll just see if that works.
anytime I went out on the field with them and these dudes were freezing their paintballs, when he shot me in the back and I hit a welt in the back for like a month and a half.
Oh my gosh, that's rude.
Cracked my ribs for a second. He like literally knocked me out, hit me in the back.
Holy crud.
That right there, that is why I can never get paintball.
All right, so I added that to the NavMesh script on the Red Robot Boss, and then I drug in the rifle that's got the script on it for the Boss Soldier, and we'll see if that changes things. Poor Cowboy's just like caught in the crossfire. Spinning around. He's firing faster. It's not crazy, but he is firing faster now that he's running for the. It's not. And now he comes back at a more controlled rate. Same old stormtrooper firing, yeah. So yeah, we can change that. Once we've got handles and access to these things, we can change so many things. Like I could have changed his color. I could have changed all kinds of stuff. His speed, his angular, whatever. Once we're inside here and we know something about his state, right? We know he's in full retreat. We can change all kinds of crazy stuff up. It's super fun. So he fires at us, but not very well. Should have used the white robot and actually made him a stormtrooper. Basically, we've done everything we need to do kind of in class. You can do for your smarter agent. I got some other ideas here. Scroll up. He can patrol between different points. Here's kind of what we did. So we can just go back and forth, kind of like the Cowboy does, but the Cowboy just goes to one spot and stays. We could have the target like we did with this guy. So he gets to the health tent and he turns around and does something else. We could do that. We're just like patrolling an area. I think we could even, with everything that we've got in here, we could make our guy even smarter. And so he wouldn't even shoot until he was like within distance of us. Because right now, like we're starting here, he's way the heck up on a total other level. But as soon as the game starts, he's popping off, right? He's shooting. So we could change that up and say, don't even fire unless you see us. There's lots of stuff we could do here. So we need at least one smart agent, one targeting agent, and one just dumb agent who just goes one place and stays there. Win condition, lose condition, and then the other thing you need to do is just flip what we've done and make sure that the NavMesh agents can hurt us. And add audio. I think we're good. Previously, in other versions of the class, I didn't give as much help on the smart agent, and we got not very smart agents. So this should be helpful. Hopefully, we understand a little bit better what NavMesh can do, and have fun. There is tutoring. If you need help with all this, Matthew's made a bunch of ridiculous NavMesh agent types, so he should be able to help